Hey folks, it's Frithgar here, how you doing? Welcome back to Farming Simulator 19 here on the Hagenstedt map. Let's get back to reliving the glory days. That shouldn't be too difficult. Drop that one down and... Right, that's done in there. And then we can go over this side. I just put you there on the side of the field, you're ready to go. And then all I got to do is... Actually, you know what I am going to do? I'm going to run this one up to the top end of the fields. And I'm going to do a pass along the top. Because up this end... I don't suppose it's going to make a big difference, is it? It's not going to make a huge difference, but it will help us out a little bit. If I go into here like this... Drop you in there and just do that pass along there. How close to the edge is that straw? Can I go and start on there? Yes, I can. I can start on that without any trouble at all. Right, let's bring you in here. This is the one bit down this side of the field. It's kind of like this corner right here. This is probably the messiest piece of any of the fields that we've got. Is this one bit down through here. Like, there's little bits that get missed, and it's just generally not very good, but it'll do. So if I start you there, like that, and very quickly skip over to this one, I need to get onto that field and get back up through. I mean, he's going to be a little bit to come down, but they do shift along fairly well. So I need to get over here and get started before that one gets down here, or we're going to be in trouble. So if I can get you over here like this, I don't want that straw being covered over, and the very, very edge of this windrow could be picked up by that seed drill. Yeah, it would have been. Right. Well, we've managed to stay ahead of him, just. We've got a little pass along the top end of the field, which should allow him to turn around easily up there. And he won't have any problem turning around down the other end, so we can just keep going now with this one. Without any issues. I will gather up everything that I can up through here, and then we got to move over. Now, we are actually, I think, going to struggle a little bit to step... Well, no, I suppose we shouldn't really. He's got a couple passes now before he reaches over to this one. And this windrow is actually a bit smaller than the last one I just picked up, so we should be alright. I'm hoping. Yeah, this is definitely... I might even get all of this windrow into the trailer. If I can get all of this one in, then we'll be properly ahead of the seed drill, and we won't have... No, I'm not going to get all of it. We've got most of it, but I'm not quite going to manage all of it. Well, at least... We're ahead of the seed drill at the moment, and if we can stay ahead of him reasonably well, that would be nice. So we'll go whizzing off into here and dump that lot into there, like that. There's another 7 grand. That's going to take us up to 122,000. With the rest of the straw, right? I mean, I said that we would get 7 loads from down here with 3 loads from up the top. That was my sort of rough guess from up there. I mean, we did have a good chunk of a load from the little field over there. So we did already have some straw. Plus I already picked up the ends of the rows down here, didn't I? So, like, we've already had some down here. I said 7 total, which would, well, 7 from here, 10 in total, 10 from everything, which was actually 72,000. I mean, we've had a few little, like, bits of part loads, so we take that into account. Right. There's a little tiny piece of straw right there that we're not going to be getting, because that has just been incorporated into the field. So go upright. We are easily staying ahead of him now. We're not going to have any problem staying ahead of him now. We come back down here, we get that little tiny bit that we've just left behind, and then we can head back up across the fields. Up here. I know I'm turning a bit sharp on there. But, I mean, honestly, the speed that I'm going up and down the field with all of my machinery, I think the whole turning sharp thing on the end of the rows is probably the least of my concerns with trying to emulate real life. I mean, I do still, like I was used to, try to play reasonably realistically, even though I'm going faster, even though everything is sped up. Essentially, I've taken a home video of some work that is happening in the field, and then I've just sped up the footage a little bit. Just put it like that. Just imagine that. So, you know, and then you can sort of go past it. So long as I continue to, so long as I try to do the actual jobs in a reasonable, realistic fashion, you know, aside from the fact that I am going to be using auto-load, and besides the fact that I'm also going to be driving on the crops on a fairly regular basis. Just ignore those little details. I still actually like to do it fairly realistically. And that's sort of part of the fun for me, is I am trying to play it realistically, even though I'm just doing it faster. So that's the only discrepancy, really, is that I'm just travelling along a little bit quicker than I was. And I feel that is absolutely fine. I'm not doing any of the stuff with the really super wide pickups or plows or anything like that. I'm not sort of particularly interested in doing it like that. You know, that's the sort of thing that I consider fun to look at and fun just to have a quick go with. But generally speaking, I don't like to do that very much. It's kind of, it breaks the immersion a bit for me. You know, I like to have the going faster like this. For me personally, it doesn't break the immersion, right? You very, very quickly get used to the speed that you're traveling across the field with this, and because everything is moving across the field at a reasonable speed, it sort of doesn't feel like it's out of place. It feels like it's just fairly standard and normal, and there's not really an issue with it. Right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just shut off and then come back round this side. There's a little tiny couple of bits of straw down there. I'm actually just going to leave those this time. For once, I am going to leave them behind, and I'm going to run back in onto this side so that I can go up to the top end of the field, and then we'll travel over into the bigger field and make a start on that one coming back down. Now, him over there driving up onto the stone bank up there and turning around, I'm not sure I like him doing that. But, you know, it is what it is, I suppose. We can't really pick and choose too much. Right, at least he's getting the job done. At least he's getting the job done. Let's just look at it like that, you know. It may not be quite how we would want to do it, but so long as he doesn't return with a machine that is completely destroyed, and he gets the field planted appropriately and in a reasonable time frame, I think we can let the worker sort of, you know, do it their own way. So long as it's safe, doesn't damage machinery, we'll let them carry on. We won't worry about it. We've got to learn to cut the apron strings a bit. We can't be too controlling with them. There's nothing worse than I speak from personal experience here. There is nothing worse than a boss that is constantly breathing down your neck, right? It's absolutely awful. You don't need it. They are an absolute royal pain, and it's just not something you want, right? It really is something you just don't want. You don't want to be getting involved with that. Now, that one is almost empty. We got just enough time to go and stick this one in a shed, and then that tractor and who's me call it will be emptied out and done. Just bring you over here. There. Right, now go back to you, and perfect. Look at that. Another 7,000 euros added to the kitty. 2 more loads, and it will be all of the money that I need to go and buy that next field. I'd like to have a little bit more. I mean, it's either we go and buy the field or we spend the money on some solar panels. Something like that. Oh, I completely forgot. I know what I completely forgot. Completely forgot about that. I'm supposed to be paying off the loan. I can't go and buy the field. I need the money to pay off the loan. Right. Okay, I did say that I was going to try and pay off the loan. I did say several times that I want to pay off that loan, and I want to get it back to 200,000. So I will pay off the loan. We won't buy that new field. I did completely forget about that. You probably have already called me out. I'm guessing, like, by the amount of time I've been recording, that you would have had an episode with me saying that we're going to go and buy the field, and now, yeah, and I had said previously that I wasn't going to just go straight in and buy fields. I was going to do it a little bit different. I was going to pay that loan off. So that's what we will do. I mean, I can dump 100,000 into the loan right now, get rid of that, and so we can get that back down below the 200,000, or at least to the 200,000 mark. I mean, eventually I'd like to be cruising along without any loan at all. That would be quite lovely, but we're not going to be able to do that just yet. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go straight in here as I'm on the end of the row, and I'm going to tip that lot out right there, like that, as I go on through the barn, and we will stop right there and tip the rest. Now, I'm also going to go... You're doing a great job. You've just about done all of it. You are doing fantastic up here as well. What I am going to do is I'm going to stop this one at the end of this row, and I'm going to move him over to the edge of the field over there, and then I'm going to start him up again, and then he'll finish here right in the middle. It's just better, I think, if we can do it like that. So get down to the end right there. There's 6,800 because I didn't quite have a full trailer this time. You on around here. Start you on that side of the field, and off you go. Right, fantastic. And then you go straight back round here and into the field, and I can go and pick up that row right there that's right behind the door. And off we go again. So we've got 4 rows left in this field, which is going to be another 2 trailer loads, which is going to take us up to 158,000. That's not bad. It's actually going to be more than 2 trailer loads, I think. I suppose it does depend on how much we got. I mean, like that one over on the end, that's got a fair bit of straw on that row. That one's probably got more than the others. These 2 here in the middle... sure how much they'll have. It depends sort of where the combine lines kind of wound up being on the end of it. And up through here. It would be... I'm sorely tempted to postpone paying off the loan and go and buy that field, because while we're combining sunflowers and canola, we've got a little bit more time that we'd be able to use for, like, ploughing out the new lines for the bigger field. It would certainly make our life a little tiny bit easier. I'm not going to, though. I'm not going to do that. No, I said I'd pay off the loan, so I am going to pay off the loan. I'm actually going to do it. For once, I'm actually going to go and do something that I said I was going to do. I know this is a shocking development, and some of you may not be fully prepared for this, but I am actually going to push on through with this. And I also kind of need to push on through this because very soon I'm going to need to upgrade both the cultivators and that planter over there, so I kind of need the money anyway. Maybe yes, I will pay off 100,000 on the loan. That's going to leave us with 40 grand. And we can use that for purchasing new machinery. And then we've also got what we'll get from the canola. There's no guarantee, though, that we'll have a decent price for canola when we're busy selling it. So we're going to have to sort of keep a little bit of an eye on that. I mean, maybe we're going to have to hold the canola for a bit before we can sell. And so that'll just go into storage. So that's why I want to keep 50 grand back. And then I can use that to upgrade all of our machinery that we need to. There's 2 cultivators that we need to get. We've got a plant. We need to sell the planter. So we need to sell the 2 cultivators and the planter. And then we need to upgrade all 3 so that we're able to do the jobs that we want to do in a reasonable time frame. Now, we've filled this one up to 80% coming down across here, which is an insane amount of straw for 1 row. That is a lot of straw for 1 row. We've got 1 more row that goes all the way up to here. So we've got this load easily, and then we've got possibly close to half a load for the final run. Well, no. Okay, no. It won't be half a row. It won't be half a load at all. Ooh. Actually, this row seems to have a bit more bulk to it than the other 2 that we did. These 2 over here, they didn't have quite so much. That one there seems to have a little bit more bulk to it. So I'm quite pleased about that. That means that there is actually a good chance that we can... yeah, we can get like at least a half a trailer. Maybe a bit more than a half a trailer load. We'll see. I'm guessing it's going to be in the 50% somewhere. Be between 50 and 60% somewhere in the trailer load. But I may be wrong. I have been in the past. I have a mouthful of coffee a minute. And that one is 7,183. So I want to have a look. Hardly anything, and then 2... Right, I don't have anything in storage at the moment. So I'm not going to concern myself with that just yet. The other thing is, someone was asking, when am I actually going to do the potatoes? When am I going to start with the root crops? And I was going to do potatoes first and get going with them, but then I will eventually be wanting to do sort of both root crops. I used to quite rigidly stick to doing some of everything. Like, go all the way through, so I would do sugar beet and the potatoes. But then, after a while, I got sort of fed up with doing quite so many root crops. So what I would do is I would do 4 crops, or possibly rotate through the crops twice, and then do 1 root crop, do either potatoes or sugar beet, and then rotate all through the other crops twice again, and then do the other one. So I do sugar beet the first time and do potatoes the second time, and so on. So I was still doing root crops. I just wouldn't do them quite as frequently as I would do any of the other crops. 56, 7, slightly more there than I thought there would be. I thought that we would be between 50 and 60. We're in 63%. So pleasant. I was wrong, but pleasantly wrong, rather than you know, having far less there. That's a little bit more of a pleasant way of being wrong, right there, like that. And dump that last little lot out onto the ground. Are we going to hit 160,000? We are not, I don't think. 200 short. If I'd gotten that completed just a little bit before, we probably would have actually reached the 160,000 mark. But the other tractors with the wages and pulling of the seed and the fertilizer and so on, it's just kind of eaten into it enough that it didn't allow it to happen. Right, we will back you in there like that, take you off, and then just going to stop you there a second. I got a combine to put away. You've got a couple passes left on this field up here. You've got a little bit to go down here, and we've got that big field to do over there. So while that is waiting, I've got a couple of other bits that I want to do. One is we're going to start this bad boy up right here and go and put it away. And then once we've done that, we're going to get the other machinery to the shop, sell it, and then come back here, and we gotta sort of buy some more. So we've now got the shop delivery thing going on, so you know that any purchases we make will be delivered up here. So put that one there like that. Right, you're done, you're finished. I don't need to worry about you. Now that's great and all, having that delivery thing, but at the moment I can't do anything with it until, like, well, yeah, ignore the delivery thing. I need to get those machines over to the shop, but then I need to sell them at the shop. And to do that, I actually need to get my tractor there. So I know I'm not actually carrying any of them. I could be bringing them down here with me. I'm not going to bother with that. I'm just going to get here with the tractor. And then I'm going to the dealership. The dealer should be doing all of this. So I shouldn't have to drive here and then offload them right in. I didn't actually want to shut the tractor off. I just wanted to shut the beacons off. Okay, we'll go here. You guys are working hard. I need to keep an eye on that one. I don't want him sat twiddling his thumbs in the field. Reset the polymag. Yes. Okay. And that one. Reset that one. Yes. Okay. And you can be reset. And that front piece as well can also be reset. Right. That's all done in there. All stuff has been reset down here. There was seed in that one, I think. There isn't anymore. Well, never mind. Right, leased items. We got nothing leased anymore. We will lease when we've absolutely got to. I'm not going to do a flat statement saying no leasing at all. I don't want to lease. I would prefer not to lease. That's what I'm going to put it as. I would prefer not to lease, but I'm not going to absolutely prohibit the leasing at all. Because of things like planting and harvesting potatoes. If I do decide to do a potato harvesting this time round, the planter and the harvester, I will be leasing both of them. I'll actually be leasing 2 planters in order to plant everything, and then I'd be leasing well, probably 2 harvesters as well in order to go and do that. Now, apparently, when I looked at the potato harvesters previously, I looked in here. Right, I've got potato technology right here. Now, I've got that one by Stevie, and that's been altered to do sugar beet. Sorry, it's a sugar beet harvest that's been altered to do potatoes. Now, that's the bit that I don't particularly like. I don't want a sugar beet harvester doing potatoes. But I was also told that this one here, despite the fact it doesn't, like usually Stevie's stuff is got by Stevie on it, this one doesn't have by Stevie written on it, but apparently this is Stevie's mod. Apparently this is one that Stevie did. So yeah, I'm kind of I mean, it's already sped up to 20k, which does kind of strongly suggest that this may be Stevie's bad boy right in here. And we've got the 60,000 litre capacity. So, I mean, hiring a couple of those for doing some potato harvesting, it would fit quite nicely. That would fit in very, very well. Right, we've got a great demand at the restaurant. What are you great demanding at the restaurant? That is eggs. Right, that's nothing to do with us. We're not doing chickens in this series. There were chickens on the map, but I don't really want to be messing around with chickens. Not this time. Right, we'll lower you down there and put you into there like that. Put out. So first up, we want to sell this one. So I'm going to sell you for 20 grand. Okay, and I want to sell you for 6,300. And then I'm going to go and Helper B has completed their task. Right, let's go up and see Helper B. There we go. That is all done and dusted. So we will get down to the big field down here. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a couple of passes along the bottom end of the field down here. And I will also do a couple of passes along the top end of the field so that it just helps everything run a little bit more smoothly. And as there is a tree right over in this corner, which is likely to make things difficult if I start hired help at the other end of the field, I will start this bit over here like this. You are going to go right there, and you're going to work that direction across here. So I will do at least 2 passes along here. That one up there, I think, has got 2 more passes to do on the field before it's finished that one. So we'll start one of these tractors from one side, one will start from the other side, and then they will meet in the middle. So at the moment, we're all right to stick with these seed drills, but once we get another field, we're not going to be far off of wanting a larger pair of seed drills, are we? Now, I know that I have already looked at that a little bit, and I did seriously consider getting the Hagenstedt, which is one of my favorites, actually. I use that one a lot, and there's a good reason for that. That is a really good seed drill. I mean, yes, it doesn't have fertilizer, so you have to go and throw fertilizer on the ground first or immediately after, but that's a minor detail. That really is a minor detail. Quite possibly go with a pair of those, but they do have quite a high horsepower requirement. It is a significant horsepower requirement, that is, actually. And I'll run you up here and do 2 passes on this end of the field. That one over there, he's got 1 more pass, I should think, to do down there, and then that one will be done. These 2 passes that I've just done up the bottom end down there, that should be enough to allow us to turn properly down there. And then I want the same up here. 2 passes along here, and that should be enough room. Then we can easily turn round at this end. Actually, we might want more than that down here. I think in this we could actually benefit from having 4 passes because of where the trees are. I'll just let you go and do your thing for a little bit there. Get a couple of... yeah, we'll do 4 on that one. I need to just run over to this one anyway. So you are finished in there. That's another field all wrapped up. We've got canola planted in that one. So that's 3 fields now with the canola planted and finished. Now, there we go, right. Just stop right there. And then I can go out over here and I can set this hide help. Just let that one back up there. Tuck that down onto there, and he's going to carry on down through there. What I'm going to do then is I'm going to spin around here, nice and tight like that. And then back up a little bit more right to there. And off you go. Right, so I don't need to worry about that one at all now. He's just going to carry on working on this side of the field. The other one, I'm going to go back over to you now. I'm going to do 2 more passes along this end of the field, and then I'll set you going down that side, and then we can go back to the shop, and we can go and get those bits in there. And that one is all the way out onto that side, so now I can go and move you up here. Let's just swing you back round there like that. You out a little bit. Back you up that way. Right, off you go. Now I've got both tractors working this field. There should be enough room for them to do all the turning round that they need to do with the trees on the end. Well, unfortunately, folks, that is all we have got time for today. And for those of you wondering, the paid promotion notification that came up at the beginning of the video is because in the description down below, you will find a link to Fanatical. I have an affiliation with them. If you use that link, I will earn a small commission on anything that you choose to purchase. But that is all we have got time for, so if you have enjoyed the episode, then please head down below and give us a like, and if you really enjoyed it, then please tell your friends all about me, get them to come and watch as well, that would be awesome. And until next time, thank you very much for watching, this is Frithgar, goodbye, and see you later.